Well, chiropractic's really not that complicated. It is a separate and distinct healing art form. And what we're trying to do is really balance the body. So we're not trying to cover it up with medications. Most of the people here don't want surgery, right? Who wants surgery? No? Not any volunteers for that? Okay. So tonight I'm going to kind of open up a whole new way of thinking for you, and you'll actually be able to see crooked people. You know, when I see people, I see like Night of the Living Dead. You know, I don't see people. And you're going to be able to see the same thing. Can I get any volunteers? Mr. Poole, all right, you're in the front row like a comedy club. Come on up here.
Looking right at me.
Come on up. All right. So just go ahead and turn right around for the camera, because this is good. The camera will be able to see this. All right. Now, the first thing we're looking at, try to stand as balanced as you can, okay? Now close your eyes and just march in place for me. All right. Stop. All right. And keep your eyes closed. Now, do you think you're balanced right now? As balanced as you can be?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. So, when you look at people, what you're going to tend to find is most people end up rotating like this. Okay? So as the hip rotates like this, you'll see this buttock becomes thinner, this one becomes wider, the shoulder will change, and that's exactly his state. So when we look at his buttock from here to here, from here to here, you can see the pelvic rotation. When you see the shoulder coming up here, you can see the difference there. And then we see the head tilt. Keep your eyes closed for me. We're just going to turn it around, Mr. Poole. Thanks for being such a good sport about this. Turn around.
Sorry about falling.
Appreciate that. Right? So again, you know, we can see the difference between here and here. We can see he's completely, if his hands were down, you'd see the whole front of his hand, and it'd be more of a knife edge on the other side as it turns. See, shoulders forward, shoulders back, shoulders higher. You can see the high hip and the rotation and translation. Can you all see that? You're just looking. You just never looked before. So I'll be at the home show all weekend. Thank you, Mr. Poole. Everyone give Mr. Poole a big hand there. Everyone has their packet, right? Do you need a packet back there? There you go. So everyone can see that when you look, but people just aren't looking. And it's amazing here. We're in 2011, right? We're supposed to have like flying cars and everything by now. And yet the most basic thing of your body being balanced, no one's looking at. And what's even more shocking is your family physician doesn't look at this or comment on this at all. It's just not something they talk about. And what's even crazier is that maybe you've had an ankle problem, maybe you've had a knee problem, a hip problem, a low back problem, sore muscles in your mid-back, rotator cuff problems, headaches, disc problems in your neck. All of them are related to all those imbalances. And that's how many times chiropractic is different. The way I practice chiropractic is I'm looking for those imbalances, starting with your feet. And how about if your feet muscles are not strong or balanced? My son Josh, he had an inverted foot, basically a pigeon toe kind of action going on there. And, you know, he was kind of slow and not very coordinated. How can you be when you're coming off a tripod that you're only on two pieces of your foot? So you try to step off or move, you can't really do that very efficiently. You're going to be clumsy, you're going to be prone to injury. And if Josh had stayed like that his whole life, and his dad wasn't a chiropractor, or at least looking for these things, he would have probably blown out his knee in high school, and they said, oh, you know, your knees are bad. So if you ever stopped and wondered if you had knee surgery or hip surgery, or someone told you that might be in your near future, that's not normal. Everyone say, that's not normal.
That's not normal.
No, you don't make me believe it. That's not normal.
That's not normal.
No, it's not normal. Thomas Edison said the doctor of the future will use no medicine, but interest his patients in care of the human frame, in diet, and the cause and prevention of disease. And so that's exactly what I do. We're trying to just work from that basic premise that you're designed by God to be healthy, that disease is not a normal state of the human body, that yes, we're all going to get older and eventually the cells will stop duplicating and we'll die. You know, we can't stop that. Well, maybe geneticists we'll figure out some cool stuff in the next 20, 30 years. But the point is that people are not looking at these basic things. Like, for instance, I work with the Y a whole bunch. I'll close this window here. I work with the Y a whole bunch, and they have people that will drop out of their gym. And the number one reason they drop out of the gym is because of an injury. And as an athlete, everyone's going to get injured at one point or the other, but that's why they stop working out. You stop working out, then you lose momentum, then you feel worse, then you're not sleeping because you're not getting the good workout, then you're gaining weight, then you're depressed, now you're on depression medication, now you eat the good food, to make you feel better. You might have a little this, a little that, and now you're more achy, and it's this downward cycle, right? People like Jack LaLanne, who just died here in 96, and Jack was actually a chiropractor before he went into the fitness industry. His whole thing was to be able to go in this direction instead of going like that. It's not normal to be on 15 medications. You're never going to meet a guy like Jack LaLanne that's like that. You think so? You think if you have this, you just don't have enough drugs in your body, you need more drugs. God didn't put enough medication inside you. Is that what you think the problem is? No. So we all know instinctually that these basic principles hold true. Human beings are designed to eat fruits, vegetables, seeds, nuts, and occasionally kill something. Human beings are designed to move vigorously and sweat every single day. Human beings are designed to get plenty of sunshine and fresh air, and science is proving that all of this is very important for our mental well-being and overall health. But imagine you're doing all that right stuff, and yet, how about if you have a leg length anomaly of 7 millimeters, and no one ever told you, and you had knee pain all the time, and your L5 disc was like that. In Mr. Poole's case, which you just saw, and I have my spine up here, in Mr. Poole's case, his sacrum is basically twisted, and being twisted like that is going to make his L5 disc bulge, and then it's going to make his C5 disc bulge. These are the most two common orthopedic surgeries, because people, if you look at someone like me, I'm not bragging here, but if you look at me, I'm balanced, I'm fit. You just look at that. Someone like that, doesn't matter what's on their face, looks more attractive. This is far more attractive walking into a room than, hi, how you doing? That's not very attractive. And so when we're looking for a mate even, someone that's attractive to us, that we automatically know that is far healthier than this. And so my job is starting with your feet, your knees, your hips, your shoulders, your neck. Same thing going this way. We want a nice cervical curve. Hardly any of you in this room have a nice cervical curve. I only have one because I trained myself to have it, and it's not an easy thing to do. I used to have this tooth go completely over this tooth, and Dr. Cottrell, you get braces for something like that. It's going to cost you $4,000 to $6,000, right? And no one ever thinks of that. If your child has bad teeth, the $6,000 check. My daughter, she has braces now. You don't go to your dentist and go, man, my daughter could live without braces. She could eat her food. She'll live her whole life. She'll be fine health-wise, right? She might not have as good-looking grandchildren because her husband, might not be as good-looking. But the point is, you can live your life without those braces. When you blow out your L5 disc and your C5 disc, that's it. They're gone forever. Think about every surgery you'll have over the course of your whole life. Hip replacement, that's $50,000 to $80,000. A knee surgery, that's $20,000 to $50,000. TMJ, something as simple as a TMJ problem, that's going to be $5,000 to $15,000, $20,000. Headaches over the entire course of your life, which I've met many people have a headache every week, sometimes 2 to 3 times a week, sometimes 10 to 30 years, sometimes losing a week or a day of work every week. And we're going to get into some of those cases later. And imagine that over the course of your life, the effect on your relationships, the effect on your